I'm live now. I guess I'm live now. Too busy messing with my damn phone trying to capture my other guests. But at any rate, welcome back to another episode of the Unframe of Mind show. We had I just want to address the elephant in the room.
That's mine.
Before I get started, I just want to address the elephant in the room. We were pumping up for an event to speak with Anthony Trawick. He had a story he was supposed to tell, and unfortunately he got into a work accident where it was kind of a freak accident. He ended up getting pretty bad burns across his face, something to do with molten zinc, second and third degree burns right across his upper face and all the way. He's in a lot of pain. So we went ahead and decided the best thing to do is go ahead and postpone this. He still wants to tell a story. It's just going to be a few weeks before we get to that. Giving him time to heal up and get from, a little bit less swollen and sore. At any rate, I wish him well. I hope he does speedy recovery and that kind of thing. And then we'll just see what's going on from there. Anyway, so we did end up deciding to put on an impromptu show still because, the show must go on. There's still shit going on out there in the world that everybody needs to know about. So let's begin. And the big question is, are you transgender? Do you still have a penis, but you're afraid of telling your new girlfriend about it? Well, great news. We can help. Also, stay tuned for the WWE RAW with Whoopi Goldberg versus Judge Jeanine Pirro. And of course, don't miss this week's mystery link. Again, welcome to the Unframe of Mind show, where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom. And we are lobbing fiery balls of truth, reason, and evidence over safe room walls. I'm your host, Daniel Wagner, and joining me today is my friend Trent Gander from The Irreverent Gentleman.
Hello.
He's a show regular, and links are in the description if you want to connect with him. I've also got another fella that's supposed to be showing up, but he decided pizza was more important than Unframe of Mind. He's probably right, but I'm still...
I was going to say, that's a compelling argument. Pizza is pretty decent, especially when you're having a craving.
Yeah, I can't argue with him. I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm still upset about it, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right. At any rate, so let's just jump right into the practicing unsafe section, shall we? So, I mean, if you're ready, I mean,
I'm fine.
At any rate, so let me ask you this. How do you feel about polls?
You mean the ones on the ground, or the ones that are about people and their opinions?
Well, as a general rule, when I have these kinds of questions, I like to just let the guests answer it any way they like. But I'm specifically talking about political polls and questionnaires, surveys, that kind of thing. Just as a general rule, how do you feel about polls?
I feel about them two ways. One is that polls in and of themselves can be used for data, and they can also be used to manipulate people. If depending on how and why I ask a question, to which group I'm asking it, and to a whole bunch of other factors that play into it, polls can be very useful to me for shaping opinion. But in general, polls can be untrustworthy, especially when you see the size of the group of people that they're taking it from, where it's literally fractions of a % of the entire population.
Right, the sampling data, yeah.
Sampling data.
All right. So we had our friend Gabe the Samurai decided to hop in and join us. He's like a couple minutes late. So
I apologize. There's a reason for that. My internet in and out, and so right when I placed my order for food, it don't come back on, and so my food order was placed, so I had to go get that. But I also could not get onto the Hangout because it had shut off, so I couldn't tell you guys that I was going to be late because my internet shut off because we live out in the middle of nowhere.
Right. It sounds like you still have kind of a choppy internet connection, but we'll deal with it. We'll see how it is, and if it's too terrible, we'll just.
I'll be back. I'm going to go actually head inside because that's where it's going to be better.
Okay.
I'm out in my car, but I wanted to tell you that real quickly. That way you didn't think I was trying to stand you up or anything like that, because I don't like being rude.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'll see you in a minute. So we'll keep on moving on.
Okay,
then.
cool.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
As far as
I'm really sorry.
Make it happen, homie. You want to mute your volume for just a minute? All right. So about the polls. The question about the polls, I was just curious because there's this poll out there that says that Donald Trump has like a 45% approval rating right now, and all I could think about was back during the election when they kept on saying Hillary Clinton has like a 95% chance of winning, a 97% chance of winning. There's no freaking way that, and then they're like, oh, but all the polls said that, but. That didn't work, and I almost wonder if what you're talking about is more in line with reality, where the polls were actually kind of used to try to manipulate, to try to make us feel like, you know, we might as well not even try voting. You know, Hillary's got this anyway. It's not even worth it. But I think that kind of backfired on them. What do you think?
It definitely did backfire on them. They, using kind of drug terminology, they got high on their own supply. They bought into the stuff that they were using to try to manipulate people and ended up manipulating themselves. And when you manipulate yourself, it's always going to end badly.
Now, what the hell do you know about drugs? You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that.
All right. At any rate, so here's the next question. What's the hardest secret you've ever had to reveal to someone you loved?
That I cared for them, probably.
That you, oh well, that's understandable. I don't know if that's a secret.
It's not a secret, especially if they don't know, and it's like you're trying to approach someone. It's like, hey, I really fancy you, kind of a thing. It's that fear of rejection.
But it's not like, oh, by the way, I have a penis. Nothing like that.
No, it's not that, but
it's kind of expected, you know.
It's kind of expected of a man with my beard.
All right. Do you ever have to kind of disclose the size of your penis? Does that ever, you know, like, oh, by the way, it's not really as big as I told you, or by the way, it's actually a massive, and I don't want to scare you with it, so I'm just letting you down easy right now, letting you know. Nothing like that. Nothing. No.
Generally, I have never had to disclose anything involving my penis.
That's fantastic. Good news. Good news. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next question. So what's your favorite place to get your news?
The various shady contacts that I have online.
Various shady contacts.
It's like it filters into me.
Yeah, I feel like we've discussed this one before.
Yeah,
it seems to be that I'll get my big major news stories from a lot of the political commentators that I listen to through podcasts. I'll listen to Rachel Maddow, and I'll listen to Laura Ingraham, and I'll listen to Stefan Molyneux. I listen to Jordan Peterson. I listen to, you know, just this kind of a wide variety of different opinions. Radio Lab, I listen to them. There's another gentleman, name escapes me right now, but you know, just I got a wide variety of different places that I get them from. So I was just kind of curious where my guests get their news from. And once we get Gabe back on here, I'll throw him these couple questions. But yeah, at any rate, I suppose we'll move on because I don't know what's going on, and I can't count on him being back or not. So yeah. Anyway, I do want to know. Have you heard about the whole Whoopi Goldberg, Judge Jeanine Pirro battle went on?
It was enough of a stir to make it to the backwaters here, and I watched the opening intro of Judge Jeanine's show where she addressed how she was treated on the show.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and play the. I'll let you know. I'll go ahead and play the yeah. You got to bring it up on a share screen over here. It's all good. We'll get it figured out. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play it for the audience so they can see what's going on. Hang on just a second. Gabe's back. Welcome back, Gabe. Gabe the Samurai.
Can you understand now?
Barely. I feel like I'm keeping you up from the outer circle of Antarctica right now. Is that where you're at?
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, same difference. Same difference.
No, I'm really sorry. My internet sucks. And my phone sucks. So my system UI constantly crashes on my phone.
Well, are you hearing me okay?
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you just fine.
All right. So it seems like we got a bit of a delay, but you're hearing me at least. All right, we'll rock on, man. Let me ask you a couple questions. Just at the beginning of the show, we do a quick lightning round, a few questions, short answers, that kind of thing. And
Perfectly fine with me.
let me ask you. I was just asking Trent this. How do you feel about how do you feel about polls, like the news polls and that kind of thing?
Okay, glad you specified. I was like, if you're talking about stripper poles, well, that's a completely different thing.
We can do that too.
Well, what I think about polls is I actually had entered right when he said that, and I kind of have to agree. It's a good kind of, depending on who's doing the polling, like if it's a completely neutral person, like if it's a completely nonpartisan group, then it is good for getting kind of a general gist of how some people in America feel about a certain thing or whatever country you're in. But it's not good for seeing how the entire country feels about something because you're only looking at a tiny percentage of people. Tiny percentage. Doesn't represent everybody. So when everybody says, well, the vast majority of Americans, judging by this poll, hate Donald Trump, that's not true.
Yeah, right.
So
seems like the polls that we see lately is just it's anything that we can get possibly that makes Trump just look a little bad at all. We'll go ahead and make a big deal about it and act like it is the news or it is reality. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it. All right, let me throw the next question at you. What's the hardest secret you've had to reveal to someone you loved?
Well, I'll tell you that while trying to keep my anonymity.
You don't even have to answer.
I'd have to.
Comfortable with it.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable answering that question, to be honest, because I try to keep as much of my anonymity as humanly possible.
Right on. We'll rock on to the next one. So, what's your favorite place to get your news? I'm always curious where people obtain their information about the world from.
Well, before YouTube, it was Fox News, but now it's usually YouTube because even the people that don't really support Trump are still, bipartisan enough to be like, Trump didn't say this. Fox is lying. CNN's lying. Everybody's lying. He did not say this. It's not as sensationalized. I think looking at somebody like Sticks Hexenhammer, 666, or H.J. Goodman, those are usually the two that they are not as liars. Oh. I also like I know this is not popular, but I also like Steven Crowder, even though he's not a news person, he's a comedian, but still he seems to be more truthful than all the major news networks combined.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was going to ask you. I know some people just say I get my news from YouTube, but I was actually going to ask you to specify a couple for us. Those are a couple good people that I've heard before. I don't actively subscribe to them, but I have heard them before.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Have you ever?
Sticks was not originally.
Have you ever listened to Kyle Kalinske?
I've heard the name, have not listened to him.
Yeah, he does the Secular Talk show. I
hate him.
He's very progressive, Bernie Sanders kind of guy.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who he is. I don't like him.
Yeah, but I listen to him because he does seem to come at it from. I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but he does seem to be pretty fair about the coverage of Trump, and as far as on a lot of topics, it does give me a different perspective, for sure. Like I said, I don't agree with most of what he says, but he seems.
I mostly hate him not because.
Yeah, he just seems to have.
I mostly hate Kyle Kalinske, not because. I mostly hate him not because he's an atheist. Most of my YouTube friends are atheists. That's fine. I hate him because he's so dang. He makes it a habit to just vehemently attack Christians without ever seeming to go after Islam. I mean, he's just another. He's like the Young Turks without actually being affiliated with the Young Turks, in my personal opinion. But he's a little bit more fair about Trump than the Young Turks are. That's about the only good thing he has going for him.
All right. Yeah. I brain fart. Whoa, that got lost quick. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing with us a couple news sources. Let me get into the main topics of what we're talking about tonight. Just want to bring up. We were just about to get into it. The Whoopi Goldberg and Judge Jeanine Pirro. Have you heard about that and seen that at all?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, Fox News is actually trending on YouTube for once.
I'm gonna go ahead and play
so
that and Judge Janine's response right after that. Just to get the audience caught up with what was going on. This
okay. If I cut. Okay, I'm gonna have to hit the close app on my system UI because it's about to crash again. I'm gonna come right back though, so that if I hang up, that's why. I'll be right back in a second.
Yeah, no need for the explanations. All right, let's go on to the next thing. Play it. Let's see what we got. Still with us, Trent?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
You want to talk about Donald Trump? You tell me what metric in this country is worse off. Unemployment is lower than it's been in 50 years. Minorities, Hispanics, African Americans have jobs. It's not because of Obama. Hate crimes are worse off. Wait a minute, the GDP under Obama was barely 1. We're going up to 4. So you want to talk about hate crimes?
I'll tell you about
I fought for a law for hate crimes.
I also think it's important, as we said, 89% of the Republican Party still supports him. He still has huge popularity in the country. And if Democrats don't get their you-know-what together, he's certainly going to get reelected.
Here's my question for you, because you talk about you talk about.
I am not, Judge.
Nobody is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just point at me? Yeah. Listen, I don't have Trump derangement. Let me tell you what I have. Okay. I have a lot of. I'm tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans or liars and rapists. I'm tired of people starting a conversation.
Pause that for a second. She's tired of that, just like I'm sure every white guy in America is tired of hearing that we're the number one cause of all the problems, and we're the white racists, and yeah, tired of it. Damn it, identity politics. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm 62 years old. There have been a lot of people in office that I didn't agree with, but I have never, ever seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive.
She must be talking about CNN again.
And clearly you don't watch the show, so you don't know that I don't suffer from that. What I suffer from is the inability to figure out how to fix this. That's my issue. But one of the things that you talk about a lot, and I'm curious about it, is the deep state. How long has the deep state been there, and who's running it? Well, I want to answer your question because you had your opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about all of these people. I'm sorry, you know what that's what you said. You said, Whoopi, you know what's horrible? That when people shouldn't be here end up murdering the children of American citizens. You know what's horrible? What's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people. No, say goodbye.
First of all, this chick over here on the right, she looks like the kids sitting there at the table after daddy just hit mommy. Like, I'm gonna eat my piece. Just don't look at me. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the other 4. They're like, we're not here. We're not here.
You're like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Anyway, yeah, you want to play just a little bit more because I think the next part just covers the response from Jeanine, and I don't know that I don't have a clip of Whoopi Goldberg's response just yet, but it seems like they had differing opinions about what actually happened there. Of course. All right.
Where I literally was thrown off the set. Whoopi Goldberg, basically said, I'm done. She pulled the plug off and walked away. But it didn't end there, Sean. And I think the sad part about all this is that, I said in the first segment, we need to start talking to each other. We need to start having a conversation. People who ostensibly hate each other. And the irony is that I said that about 2 minutes before she started. And I just felt that today was a microcosm of what is happening in America as the left suffers from this Trump derangement syndrome, shuts the right down, doesn't allow you to talk. She asks me a question and then yells at me, yells about Donald Trump, yells about, and when I try to answer, she continued to yell. But it didn't end there, Sean.
Y'all can cut in anytime if you need to.
I realized the segment was over. I got up. And I just started, I left the stage going downstairs and I saw her and I had to walk by her and I said, Whoopi, I fought for victims my whole life, something like that. And she started cursing at me.
What did she say? Tell everybody what she
me.
said without saying it.
He said,
blank you.
F you. F you. And I said, Whoopi, did you just say F you? I mean, she was right here. And then she said, get the F out of this building. And she yelled at me again, get the F out of this building.
Well, that was fun. That was fun. So what's y'all's take on that after seeing that little showdown there?
If I remember correctly, this isn't the first time Whoopi has gotten off the stage and went off in a huff. I think she did it for he was another. He used to be on Fox at in the 7 o'clock spot, and now he has retired or been sent on administrative leave or whatever. What was his name?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm sure that's not the first time. I don't watch The View, and I think there's a reason they call it The View and not all views, because apparently you're only allowed to have the one view as long as you agree with them. You're good.
I personally find it very torturous to listen to The View every time that I have had to, because it's nothing against the individuals on there. It's just that it's so vacuous. It's just empty talking about something. I can't really actually get what they're trying to achieve, and it sounds like they don't know what they are trying to achieve.
Right. It's kind of interesting though that Judge Jeanine there got the term Trump derangement syndrome onto primetime TV and on the morning television on The View. That's a great term that needs to like stick. You still with us, Gabe? Well, I got a picture. Nice looking picture. Move on, shall we? We're losing viewers. Oh no.
Well, it reminds me of before Trump was elected. I had this lovely conversation with a Bernie supporter. He was an immigrant from England. He traveled the world, and I had a nice, lovely conversation. Best part of the party that I was at. And he said quite clearly that, well, Trump is an absolute idiot, and everywhere else in the world, Hillary Clinton would be a centrist candidate. And for me, that was the turning point for, I'm pretty sure I told this story before, that if Hillary Clinton, possibly the greatest individual to promote state and government control of everything in the United States, is a centrist candidate compared to the rest of the world, I feel bad for the rest of the world.
Yeah, no shit. So check this one out. We got another, maybe this rings a bell. Pulled up another clip of Whoopi Goldberg storming on stage. I have not seen this, so maybe this is what you're referring to. Go ahead and play it.
You're saying that Americans are not smart enough to recognize that while it is part of our Constitution to say freedom of religion and freedom to worship, and there were 70 families who are Muslim who also died in that building. So you're saying that that his saying that they have the right to do it and not saying any more than that is why his approval rating is going down?
I'm showing that there is a gulf between Americans wanted to know what his opinion was on the issue, and he wouldn't give it.
We're Americans.
That's one
agree with that. So what about it?
You agree with it.
No, we're Americans. I'm an American.
Let me break this to you. 70% of Americans don't want that mosque down there. So don't give me the weed.
I want to see that.
You want to bet on that? You want to bet? I'll show you that poll in a minute.
All I'm saying is
Americans
70% don't want it.
But why is that? But why aren't we saying
inappropriate?
Why is it inappropriate when 70 families died?
Muslims killed us on 9/11.
Oh my God!
Muslims didn't kill us on 9/11? Is that what you're saying?
Excuse me, extremists.
What religion were they in?
What religion was this?
Boy, she's getting violent.
I'm telling you.
He killed 70% of the country. I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here. I don't. I'm outraged by their mom's head.
You're outraged about Muslims doing this in our life.
Bill O'Reilly. I finally remembered his name.
Is that the one you were talking about?
That is exactly the one I was talking about.
Yeah, she was like, I was about to deck him. Holy crap.
I think probably the only reason why you didn't see that with Jeanine Pirro was that, one, Janine's a woman, and they're at a much restrictive desk. You can't really try to drag someone across the table if they're 7 feet from you.
Oh boy. Oh shoot. I meant to ask you guys to share out this video too for your friends to watch. I'm so tired.
I retweeted it, and
I has been insane busy. Like I was not even ready for the show until like minutes before. It was insane. He's been so busy.
Here's the thing with the whole Judge Jeanine thing. She was nothing but classy, as usual. You don't have to agree with what she says, but you have to agree that she is nothing. She has dealt with people worse than Whoopi Goldberg before. So this is nothing. Court show all the time. She dealt with everything really well. Whoopi is a psycho. Judge Jeanine, even after the fact, or still, I want to have a conversation with you. I'd more than happily be willing to come back on The View again.
Hey, Gabe, do me a favor. Can you try broadcasting just audio only? Because maybe that'll help things out. I'm getting...
The what?
Try doing just video only and see if that helps smooth things out, because I'm getting real choppy, robotic internet cutting in and out kind of signal over here.
Is this better?
Yes, actually.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Right, I apologize. I turned off my camera. Apparently, it drags a little bit harder when it's and audio.
No, it's still cutting out. Still cutting out. Not nearly as bad though. No, it's
okay.
It is a good case study. I mean, whether you like, I don't really care who you agree with, or maybe you don't even agree with either one of these ladies, but it's just a nice case study to show how not to handle yourself in a conflict situation. Like that's not a mature thing to do. I mean, she pointed out in that piece that she's 62 years old. Like, I would think at 62 years old, you should know better than to be up in somebody's face, cussing them out, and you know, you're supposed to be trying to listen and talk and have the conversation.
It just baffles. It's not right.
All right, Gabe. I hate to say this to you, man, but I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to have you hop off the channel for this one. It's way too choppy. Your internet connection is not quite where it needs to be for this.
Is this better?
No, not really, man. Not really. You're welcome. You're welcome to give it a shot, but if it keeps like that, I got to keep my audience in mind.
He could go into the chat and put his opinions there, and then we can read them out for him.
Yeah, that's another option if you wanted to.
I'll leave. I apologize.
No, it's all good. Nothing you can do about it. I appreciate you trying.
Beyond our control.
Yeah. Where's my notes? All right. So the next thing, the main topic. This was kind of interesting to me, and I saved this particular link here. It was bring up the article itself for me so I can see it. You don't have to bring it up on the screen yet. I just need to see it. But let me ask you this question here. This was fun. Not those notes, the article. Just click on the article. Dork. Okay. So the question posed on this Mike.com article asks, I'm a pre-op trans woman and I've been dating a guy for a month. Things are getting serious with us, and I know it's time to tell him my secret, but I'm terrified he won't like me anymore. How do I tell him? Well, so let's play pretend for a minute, Trent, and let's say that you've been dating this really good looking girl. She seems awesome. You know, you're having a great time, and she springs on you. Oh, by the way, I'm really a man. What do you do?
Well, I walk away from the relationship. The way I do things, I don't really date. What I do is I befriend people, and then if I think there could be something there, I kind of start finding out about them in order to see if we're compatible and stuff like that. And the major thing with this is that the relationship, if I was dating already and they were transgender, it would be that the relationship was built on a lie. And you don't want to build relationships on a lie because the main part of it is trust. You're letting someone into the very deepest parts of your soul and heart, and to find out that you don't actually have the full sum of an individual even before you get anywhere near serious is a huge blow and a huge betrayal.
All right. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that on you. No, that's not it. Go down a little farther. You'll see the same article posted, I believe. Yep, there's my response. Can we bring that up for me? Yeah, I answered this one in a nice, simple tweet. I reposted the article, and I answered it this way. I said, well, the first step is to break up. If he's a quality man, he'll leave you for being dishonest. If he's a shitty man, he might put up with your lies. Either way, you lose. I don't need a whole article to tell you that. Just don't. But let's go on. I want to read this article, a little more of it, and tell you and show you what I want to read the article a little more and tell you where it goes. Let's see. So the author starts by saying, I want to apologize that you and other girls like us live in a society where we must literally fear for our lives when deciding when and how to disclose our trans identity. The anxiety you're feeling is completely valid. Trans women are so frequently assaulted and murdered after opening up about their trans identity to potential partners. Now let me think here. What reason in the world might trans women be afraid of being murdered after revealing their identity to their potential lovers? So all I could think was, okay, so again, she said she's been in a relationship for a month with this guy. Maybe we've been making out. Maybe we've been doing some heavy petting. Maybe we've, got some hopes up, got some ideas going on. I don't know. All I can think is, if I'm some dude that's really definitely not gay, I'm going to be super fucking pissed. First of all, like, oh my God, I've been making out with a dude. Like, I'm totally against that. Maybe I'm a Christian or say that I'm a Christian. And I feel like
or it's not your sexual preference.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Exactly. I'm I'm not saying I condone murdering trans women, but shit, I can kind of also understand the perspective of the guy that's just, some of these guys have been in a relationship for, months, maybe even years before they ever find out. Sometimes they don't find out until years later that they are post-op trans and they have no idea, but they find out, and you got to feel some kind of way about that. Like, I'm going to feel some kind of way about that if I'm like totally not gay. Or, it's like, okay, wow, what have you been? You've been lying to me, first of all. I've been deceived. What else have you been lying about? Like, there's so much emotion and crap that goes into that. Like, what are you doing? Like, bitch, you shouldn't be asking this question in the first place. You really shouldn't be. You should be able to have somebody in your life that's going to be able to point you toward a quality person. But I don't know.
The interesting thing about this is that conceptually with people have researched it and found out that men desire respect. And I like to respect people. I do that as best I can. Very few people I don't respect. In this situation, the other party did not respect the man enough, or the enough, to be honest with them about who and what they were. So they've literally just taken the main thing that the guy kind of desires in his little microcosm to be respected. They didn't respect them. On top of that, they lied to them and deceived them for long periods of time. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't build a relationship on that, at least not a good relationship, with that kind of start.
Yeah, I really don't even care if it's just, if maybe it has nothing to do with something as big as this, but if I find out that, you've been lying to me the whole time. You've been knowingly keeping some pretty important information away from me. Like, let's just say, for example, that I really, really want kids, and I've gone to this relationship with you and married you, and we've been having a relationship, and you say you want kids, but I find out, oh, you knew the whole time that you are not able to have children, or you have this medical condition. Like, that would have maybe changed my mind about getting into a relationship with you in the first place. Like, that's pretty important information to have up front. And that's what really I really want to drive home, is that particular aspect, because it doesn't matter what the circumstances of the relationship are. Like, you need to get in that relationship and make sure that you are being 100% honest, because for me, that's principle number one right there. Like, if I can't trust you, nothing else matters. Like, I don't care how hardworking and how much integrity you say you have, or how courageous you are. I don't care about any of the other principles, or any of the other traits that you might possess. If you can't be trusted, what do we got? We got nothing.
Yeah, it's not even interpersonal relationships. It's just business relationships as well. I'm not going to deal with a crook. I'm not going to deal with someone who's going to be embezzling from me or stealing my industrial secrets and selling them on the side. It's just bad business.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. It's all relationships, friendships, it's business relationships, it's your people you work with. I mean, hell, you even got to be able to trust the businesses that you attend. Like, if I go to a restaurant, I have to have a trust relationship. You know, you find out that, oh, well, you know, this particular restaurant says they have, 100%, score on their health inspection, but you really find out that they got a 10% and they drew a little extra zero on there, that's going to make you feel some kind of way too. Like, you're never going to eat there again. It doesn't matter if they clean their shit up and get all better. You can't trust them.
Well, there's a couple places where you go to eat where it's like, it's not going to be clean. You're not eating there because of that.
So my friend Keith texted me. He said we're streaming your show over dinner so I can figure out how to tell my girlfriend that I have a vagina. You know what, Keith? That I completely understand, and that's very brave of you. However, you've been in this relationship long enough, buddy, that you lied to her, dude. Come on, you've been in a relationship with me long enough. Damn, been friends since like 10th grade, and I just finding out you had a vagina. I mean, I suspected, but you're confirming it now, like, for real. Yeah, piss me off. At any rate, so I guess if you had nothing else to add to that, I'm going to go ahead and move into the mystery link of the week.
Sure, why not?
Messenger. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We got one more small, quick topic that I forgot about. Miss Haley brought it to my attention. I had seen it. I don't know if you have seen this, but I'll just show you the picture here and let you see it. This was some of the shit that's going on right now. The Hollywood star, the Donald Trump's Hollywood star, matter of fact, somebody took a pickaxe to and destroyed it. Like, wow.
Yeah, I had seen that.
Yeah, a lot of the commentary that I saw was, oh, well, how come nobody has destroyed all of the multiple, sexual assault people? Bill Cosby star hasn't been destroyed. What's his fuck's name? The guy, Harvey.
I want to say Harvey Dent, but that's not it. It's Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, his hasn't been destroyed. Like, come on now. Let's have some consistency, people. I mean, that's clear and evident proof that this Trump derangement syndrome is alive and well. People have lost their minds, and they're attacking a star. And I have a feeling it may only be a matter of time before they're trying to attack the real thing, because they feel like they're actually being harmed and attacked and held down, and they actually have no other choice, like rats in a cage. Miss Bridget Walker says he's just being spooty. I'm assuming this is Keith's woman here chiming in. Spooty.
What is that even supposed to mean?
Play that. I don't know, but Haley looked it up. I don't know what that is. Yeah, let's play that. We'll find out what spooty is with an Angry Beavers clip. You remember Angry Beavers, don't you?
I'm spooty. It's spooty.
Volume.
She's spooty. We spooty. I'm just a beaver and I'm shaking my booty. Yeah. I'm
The amount of drug imagery most of the old cartoons had.
I missed this cartoon.
In Norbit, we chilling by the water.
Dang. All right, that's enough. That's what happens. We watch Angry Beavers on my show. You never know what you're gonna get. Anyway,
It means something different across the pond.
anyway, let's throw out this mystery link here and see what we got. Oh, Spooty. Oh, you're still looking it up? You gonna bring up the mystery link on Facebook? Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we can sit here and just talk about the possibility. So for anybody who hasn't seen the show before, we've been bringing up a mystery link. Mr. Anthony Trawick, who was supposed to be our guest tonight, he provides us a mystery link every week, and in return, we shout out his nonprofit, the Tennessee for Families, where he helps a bunch of folks out with different things, a lot of local ground roots efforts. All right, let's see what we've got for our mystery link. No, do it now. No, do it now. Getting it. She's kind of a slow producer, but she's getting it. We started with like 5 viewers, and we're slowly but surely dropping off. But it's all good. I do appreciate anybody. I do appreciate anybody that hops in and watches our antics for an hour straight on this thing. Yeah, go ahead. I'm waiting on you. It's fine. Do your worst. All right. At World Snail Racing. What? At World Snail Racing Championship, a good slime is had by all. The race begins with the words ready, steady, slow. What? We have a snail race championship? That's a thing?
I mean, that's kind of the best news I've heard all day compared to some other stuff. Like, think about it. Yeah, if we have turtle races, we got snail races. What other animals can we bet on to take our minds off of important matters?
Right. Well, go ahead and unmute it.
So, you know, the longer I do it, I never know how to go on with snails. You know, there's no.
Pause that. First of all, this guy right here, he just seems like the kind of guy that would be like racing snail. Like this is like he's the kind of guy that would have that weird, like your neighbor with the weird hobby that you're not sure what it is, and then he reveals it to you, and you're like, oh,
I'm not surprised.
Oh, that's actually, yeah, I'm not actually surprised. Go ahead.
He reminds me of the character Taggart from Eureka.
Hey, I just want to see the snails racing. Fast
you know, the longer I do it, I never know how to go on with snails. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to why a snail is good or bad. It's just luck of the day, I think.
That's a very thick accent, whatever that was.
Let me see some footage of the race. That's what I want to see.
Yes, there's a lot of people watching snails.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're actually like wrestling or some shit.
Yeah. Snail jiu-jitsu? I'd watch that.
Well, at least they're having fun.
I mean, there are worse hobbies to have.
Yeah, exactly. At least they're having fun, you know. At least they're not, yelling at each other and storming off the stage. You know, at least that's not going on.
I mean, you can bring your kids to watch snails race.
So my producer points out this quote from the thing. Somebody says, I pulled him out this morning and told him if he didn't win, I would squash him.
S-Car, go, go, go.
That snail was like, oh, shit. I ain't trained for this yet. Boy, that's something else, man. Some people.
It's something else. That's one of those weird, randomly wholesome things you find online. It's like, oh, it's just so cute that you can't really understand it.
Anything but oh. Keith says, I took the shell off my racing snail, but now it's a little sluggish.
Yeah, it's also a great opportunity for dad jokes, I gotta say.
Keith, that's the last time I shell out any money for you, buddy. What else we got? Me and Keith, we used to do these kind of jokes all the slime. Sorry, I can't. It's in me. I can't help it.
I know. I love crappy puns too. I just can't think of any right now.
It's because you're running a little slow. Oh.
Mhm.
Yes, the whole show, the rest of the show for the last 15 minutes is going to be nothing but snail puns. Stay tuned. All right. Anyway, I think that's a good point to wrap up. I do appreciate y'all for hanging in there with us as we rocked this show out. I still think it came out pretty good, technical difficulties aside. At any rate, yeah. If you guys like what you saw and you want to see some more, be sure to hit subscribe and check it out. I do have this whole live stream on my podcast feed as well. So wherever you go to get your podcast, feel free to check it out. And it would do me a huge favor if you could go and give me a review, a rating, and all that stuff, because that's the only way that I'm gonna reach more people. They do actually measure that kind of stuff. It turns out, imagine that. At any rate, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be an awesome way. And if you want to be a guest on the show sometime, just be sure to head over to unframeofmind.com and hit the button, fill out the form. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll have you on the show. So, thanks for joining us again, Trent.
You're welcome.
And I suppose we'll see y'all next week.